Okay, so welcome back to the video. Okay, so these are the ingredients that I'm going to be using for this coconut bake recipe. I have my coconut that I blended in the blender with about 2 cups of water. I might not be using all of that. Then I'm going to use about 2 cups of whole wheat flour. This is the flour that I use, whole wheat. If you want to use just your plain white flour, you can use that. Or if you want to mix it with half of the whole wheat flour and half white flour, sometimes I do that also. Then I have 1 can of fat-free carnation milk, some salt, some baking powder. I'm going to add a little bit of allspice to my recipe. Bloop. And then I'm going to add 1 pack of this instant yeast. So I'm going to put everything together. I'm going to add all my ingredients to the stand mixer, and I'll be back, guys. Okay, so welcome back to the video. Okay, so now I have everything in the stand mixer. I have all my dried ingredients mixed with my wet ingredients, and I poured about 1 cup of the coconut milk concoction with the coconut in there. So my dough is coming together. Now, if your dough might seem a bit soft or anything like that, and after you add, maybe you might have added too much of the wet ingredient to your dried, and it seems a bit sticky. For now, mine looks okay because it still has a way to go in the kneading process. But like if that ever happens, you could just add like a little bit of flour back to your mixture. And just a little at a time, and just to make sure that your flour is coming together, coming together in a ball, and it's not sticky or anything like that. So, like I said, if it feels like too soft and sticky, just add a little bit of flour. Let's do a little at a time until your flour becomes like a nice round ball and it's not sticky to the touch. So, I'm gonna let this come together, and okay, so now my flour looks like it's completely come together. My dough, it's it doesn't stick onto the pan or anything like that, onto the bowl, not the pan. But now I'm gonna stop the mixing process, and I'm gonna pour this dough out in a pan, and then I'll be back to show you guys what it looks like. So this is what it looks like after I just dusted off with a little bit of flour and kneaded it up with my hands. So now I'm going to let it sit for maybe about 10 minutes, and I'm going to go back and do that process over, just to knead it a bit, so it can rise, and I will show you what it looks like. I will do that process like twice. 10 minutes I will go knead it over and let it sit again for another 10 minutes, and after that second 10-minute time frame. Welcome back to the video, guys. So this is what the dough looks like after I let it sit for about 10 to 12 minutes. So now I'm just gonna do another little knead of the dough. So the dough is very soft and pliant on my fingers. It feels really good. So I'm just gonna give it another little quick knead like this. And nothing crazy. I see people needing flour and going crazy with it, but it's not really that serious. So now, see, I have my perfect little ball again, and I'm gonna let it, sit for maybe 10 minutes, just one more time. And then once it, it's gonna raise a bit more, like probably, I won't say twice the size of this, but it's gonna still raise some more. And then once that's done, then I'm gonna prepare them for the oven. So and always keep your dough covered with a kitchen towel in the rising process. Just cover up your dough and sit it for 10 minutes. And so welcome back to the video, guys. Excuse me, I think I'm getting a cold. So this is my cast iron skillet. It's very heavy. I use this for making my bakes, either on top of the stove or in the oven. So this is what I'm going to be using to make my bacon today. I'm making 2, so I'm going to also be using this guy. Now this is also a skillet, but it's kind of heavy, and it can use either on top of the stove or in the oven. So I will also be using this guy to make the second bake. So I'm using, you know, these two skillets, but this one obviously is a better choice. It's a heavy cast iron skillet, and your bakes comes out absolutely perfect in this guy. And I've never really made a bake in this one before, but I don't have a choice because I need to make 2 bakes today, and I don't want to do them one at a time. So, you know, wish me luck. I'm sure it'll be fine because this, like I said, this is a skillet that can be used either on the stove top or in the oven. So I'm gonna like cut my dough now into 2 balls, and then I'm gonna, you know, flatten them out and prepare them for the oven. I'm gonna show you guys what they look like before I put them in the oven. So stay tuned. I'll be back. Okay, quickly before I do anything else, I'm just gonna use this buttered thing. I use this butter to add in my recipe, and then I always save whatever is left on the paper or whatever this thing is that the butter comes in. I always save the extra butter that gets left on there to butter up my pans and stuff. So that's what I'm going to be doing with this one. I'm going to grease my 2 pans with this. This is enough butter. And by the way, my skillet, my cast iron skillet is well seasoned. I use it all the time, so you don't even really have to oil it up or grease it or spray with anything. Nothing sticks in there. So I'm still gonna butter it up. And guys, just in case you want to know why am I always doing things on my washing machine or my little tiny counter space by the sink, I live in a New York City apartment. I have very limited space, and I barely have any counter space. I mean, I literally have no counter space. The top of my washing machine is my counter space, and then I'm going to show you guys over in this area, and then right here. And most of the times I have to remove this drain and put it somewhere else just so I can use this little area for counter space. So yeah, you know, New York City apartment living, we all don't got island in the middle of the kitchen and all that type of stuff. And you know, this works for me. You know, it's not a big deal. I'm happy. You know, this is my space. So, you know, just put that out there. And welcome back, guys. Okay, so my bakes are all set up, and you know, I roll them out, and you know, I use a fork to make some little holes in them. I don't know, I've seen this being done growing up. I always do it. I don't know if it's just to make it look nice or what exactly the little holes for, but yeah, it's set up. You see all the little pieces of coconut all, you know, all mixed into the dough. This bake is gonna come out perfect. I just know that I'm getting a good bake. And yeah, like I said, you know, if you want to swap out the whole wheat flour for, you know, just a white flour, whatever is your choice. Like I said, this is about 2.5 pounds of whole wheat flour with about 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 pack of dried instant yeast, 1 can of not even low fat, extra fat free, my bad, 1 can of fat-free carnation milk, 1 stick of unsalted butter, what else, 2 teaspoons I think of baking powder, and 2 teaspoons of salt. I said that. And then 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. What else? Did I miss anything? And then I just used the coconut milk that I made in the blender with the coconut. I used like about a cup, about it could be a little more than a cup, you know, of that coconut milk mixture. And now, you know, my bake is nice, and you know, my dough came out nice and soft, and just, you know, the way it's supposed to, not sticky, not dry, not, you know, just like perfect. So I just heated up the oven at 350 degrees. I'm gonna let these guys sit for like about 10 minutes before I pop them in the oven, just, you know, just so you could get that last rising of the dough. And you know, in 10 minutes I'm going to pop these guys into the oven, and I will show you guys what the finished product looks like. So welcome back, guys. Just like I thought, my bakes came out absolutely. You guys get a shot of these two beauties. Bake number 1, bake number 2. They came out absolutely perfect. My kitchen smells amazing. I mean, I wish there was some way for me to have you guys smell what my kitchen smells like right now. Coconut bake is everything. And yep, it just got out of the oven. They're hot. I'm gonna let them cool down for a little bit, about 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna show you guys what I'm gonna be serving it up with. For me, I just like cheese and butter with my bacon, a nice cup of tea. I don't know, I think my mister might want egg with his, and my grandson, I think he's saying something about peanut butter and jelly. Yeah, so this is what it is, guys. Coconut bake, whole wheat coconut bake, healthier version, of course. You know, like I said before at the very start of my videos, my recipes are going to be more focused on the healthier side of an original recipe. So I consider using whole wheat flour healthier than using the all white flour, because we all know all white flour has absolutely no nutrition in there. It's just like empty calories. There's nothing in there that's really good for you. I mean, it might taste good, but you know, we need to have a little more benefit of just tasting good when we have a meal. It's supposed to be able to nourish our bodies in some good way. So, you know, not knocking anybody's game. You know, like I said, you know, when I make a recipe, you can always swap out some of the ingredients that I use to stuff that you like. So this is my ingredient. This is how I'm choosing to do it. Now, I've made coconut bakes using all white flour before, but like I said, recently, like for the last few months, I've been trying to do healthier, eat healthier. You know, it's been helping me to manage my weight, and you know, that's a good thing for me. So, you know, I cut out like mostly everything that's white. No white rice, no white sugar, no white flour, no white nothing. Everything dark. So this is what it is, guys. Coconut bake, Denise style. So I want you guys to see what they look like after I take them out of the baking pans or my pots or whatever. So this one is a little brown. This one is more brown. This one was in the cast iron skillet, and this one was in just the my regular skillet. Now they're both done. This one is just like a golden, you know, a little more lighter, and this one is a bit more darker. Guess which one I'm gonna be eating from, guys? Yep, you guessed it. This one. I like the dark one better, but yeah, they came out absolutely perfect, and this is what they look like. So now I'm going to show you guys what they look like. I'm going to turn them back over. So back to the video. So this is what they look like. I flipped them back over. So my grandson has to leave now, so I don't usually like to cut the bake when they're this hot, but I'm going to have to give him a piece, so I got to go cut him a piece of this. So I'll be back. Okay, so this is the finished product, guys. So this is Sheldon's piece. He's having his own with butter and cheese. Just using some Cracker Barrel and white sharp cheddar. That's right there. So yeah, I'm kind of hot, so I'm getting out of the kitchen right now. I'll decide what I'm going to have with mine later. I like tea and stuff in my bake, so I'm going to just wait a while. I'm hot. I'll be back.